Hi, this is Pastor Bob. Well, I'm doing it again. I'm driving. But I promise to be safe as I'm doing this. Well, I was going to do this outside today, and the wind's blowing a little too much, and I haven't figured out yet the perfect way to keep that wind noise, from interrupting my sound. So we'll do it inside today, and we'll do it while I'm driving. Just picked up a friend at the airport and took her home, and now running some errands, picking up some stuff for the homeless. So anyway, I have a friend that asked me about leadership and said, I'd really like to become a leader. Are there classes, are there courses I can take? And how would people begin to recognize me as a leader? Great question. And there's a lot of people that aspire to leadership, but let me tell you, there are few people that are actually leaders. And people say that leaders are made, not born. Well, the other is really true. They're born, not made. And folks, I don't believe you can really be a good leader unless you really have that aptitude, unless you really have that in your heart to lead. And, there's a few qualifications that a leader has. First of all, a leader is someone that sees a bigger picture. They're not someone that just learns some skills and how to handle people, but they see a bigger picture and they see where things are going. And not everyone has that capacity, which is fine. It takes a lot of different kinds of people to make this world turn. But that's one of the first things. And also, a leader is somebody who understands how to serve. Now, that separates the men from the boys, or the women from the girls, or whatever. But when you really learn that serving people is what leadership is all about, then you become a good leader. It isn't just about how to huddle people together in groups and make them do specific jobs to accomplish a task. It's really about people. It really is about motivating people. And you motivate them by being an example, by loving them, by nurturing them, by helping them along, by really being involved in their lives and loving them through. That's a good leader. I've been to a lot of leadership conferences. I've been to a lot of church conferences that have pastors and youth pastors and church leaders there. And I'm surprised, honestly, at how many people I see there that I really don't think are very good leaders. And I know that they probably don't do a great job in their church either. How do you do that? And how do you begin to lead people unless you're truly a leader and the kind of person that people want to follow? Well, first of all, I think we have a lot of people who aspire to leadership because they think that's the best thing you can be. It's not true. Everybody has a calling. One is not more important than another. And people that do aspire to leadership and that do take on the role of leading people understand that it's not all it's cut out to be. It's a very hard job. And many, many times, I know in my own personal life, I would much rather take the position of a servant and not a leader. And again, leaders are servants too, but you understand what I mean. It's tough work, and people like to take pot shots at leaders. In other words, they love to criticize them. They love to pull little things out that they feel like they're doing wrong and publicize them. Everybody talks about the leader, and it seems like they're fair game a lot of times for conversation. And that's the thing about leadership that I've always hated. But I think a leader also has the capacity to endure. And while I see a lot of people giving up because it's too hard, I think maybe they really weren't called to leadership, honestly, because that goes along with it too. So folks, if you do aspire to be a leader, and if you feel like you're called to it, and if you're born with it, you kind of naturally become one. I've never taken any courses on leadership. I probably don't do it correctly in a lot of ways, but I've been a leader all my life. And I think if you are, you are. For those of you that would like to be a leader, but you feel kind of like a fish out of water, people don't really follow you, and you really don't know what to do, probably a pretty good bet that you're not a leader. But folks, the worst thing you can possibly do is try to put yourself in a place where you don't fit. If you're not a leader, don't try to become one. Do something that you really fit in. You know, spend your life doing things that you feel passionate about, that you feel called to do, and things that you're really good at. And when you do that, then your life is fulfilled. It's only fulfilled if you're doing what you're good at and what you feel like you're called to do. Okay? God bless you. Have a great day.